This is, I guess, talking about process. Um, of the things that I do, I mostly write songs. I I don't ever play them live for anyone because I have terrible stage fright. I don't feel comfortable in front of people performing. I never have. I don't think it's going to change. But it's fine. It's not something that I sort of have a desire to do really. I like writing songs. I like to come up with words and melodies that go along with them. And I record sometimes, although I don't particularly like recording either. I mean, I forget my words a lot and I make a lot of mistakes, so there's a lot of stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. Anyway, but I do enjoy writing songs, and when it comes to writing them, I've tried different environments, and I would sit for long periods of time at tables and late into the evening, and kind of try to work out the lyrics and the chords and do them together and do them separately. What I've found works for me, and it's what I'm sticking to, and I just wanted to talk about that a bit because I'm glad that I finally landed on something that worked, and I've had more success with than any other version of writing method. For me, I walk. I'm kind of more a morning person than any other part of the day, and if I walk, and the longer I walk, the more I get done. Um, if I walk, I come up with little melodic motifs, little melodic ideas, and then I start to just put word placeholders in. But then the word placeholders start to drive the narrative, and I think the words I choose, even though they seem kind of automatic, they seem just sort of very they just sort of occur, and their only purpose is the number of syllables. I think actually what I'm doing is I'm unconsciously filling in the blanks with something I want to write about. So certain words will appear, and then the song will evolve, and lyrically it'll become what it is. But then once I've walked back and forth, from point A to point B for a couple of days, and I have a verse and I have a chorus and I have a bridge, and I feel like the song is done, it's kind of at that point that I'll sit down and figure out the chords, which to me, I mean, it's like something that's necessary. I've got to sit down and figure out what those chords are now that I have the whole song written. And not everyone writes like this. I've read about songwriters who, sit and kind of put all their lyrics together without a melody, more like poetry, and then they sit down, and regardless of the shape of those words, they have to hammer out a melody. Anyway, so what I'm sitting down to do today is I'm sitting down, I have words, I have melody, and now I have to go through the process of figuring out what the chords are. I want to share the playing of the music going forward. It's something that I intend on doing, but probably not today. The song is done, and I'm happy with it. I think it tells a story, and I think it is catchy. But the putting it together part, I think still is something that I'm going to do on my own. I do want to share it though, going forward. I do want to do the first version of singing it, which is kind of what this is. It would be my first time singing it along to chords. Yeah. I'm almost tempted to kind of go there, but I'm going to hold off. We'll get there. The other side note I was going to make is going back to the original title of this, whatever it is, web channel thing, Untanglist. I recognize I have to untangle my hair situation. I am living very far up north, and I don't have a barber yet, much less a stylist. So my hair has been growing for very close to a year, and it's never been this long, and it looks a like a wild outcropping of something. It's something I'm gonna have to manage because this is not the way I normally look. But that's just an aside, and it sort of plays into the Untangleist theme. Anyway, thanks for listening.